Yaw, thank you so much for coming, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
really
sir.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
For me, I love speaking with people that I have an interest in, kind of a connection. And let's tell everyone that doesn't know who you are, where you're from.
Artist name, Yaw Appiah, which a lot of people call me Yawa and Appiah, but the right pronunciation is Yaw Appiah. Born and raised in Ghana, West Africa. I moved out here into the US 8 years ago. And yeah, I'm just glad to be here, and it's nice to meet you, Darius. Really amazing time.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Well, like I said, you know, I like to gravitate towards individuals that I feel that, you know, are kind of kindred in a way, to where we have, I believe there's a lot of similarities, and we'll get to that, you know, musically. But I want to talk a little bit about your upbringing in Ghana. You know, let's go to childhood really quick, and what led you to music?
Nobody actually in my family does music. We actually was brought up in a Christian home, so mom and dad was more of a church, you know, more of a church. Mm-hmm. So I remember after church, I would just run to the instruments and, you know, just making noise, you know, and that's how I familiarized myself with the piano, with the drum, with the conga and everything. So that actually, the love for music started right there.
Which instrument did you gravitate towards the most?
I was drums at first,
yeah,
and then I tried learning trumpet, which didn't go well. And then I fell in love with the piano for the most part. Yeah.
Same. That was my father was a pianist.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, I just, for whatever reason,
it just flows. Huh?
Oh my God, man. Well, I just remember as a kid just being able to just get that thing, and I would listen to him, and I'm like, I want to get up there and try to do it. But there's a fluid connectivity with the piano. I think the piano and the guitar and the drums.
You play the guitar too?
A little bit. Don't ask me to perform, man. No, you don't want to hear that.
Yeah, gotcha. So with that, with the Church of Music actually started in high school. You know, okay. I was actually elected to be the entertainment prefect. So yes, entertainment prefect. I mean, most of the Africans from Ghana will understand what that means. So a leader.
For those that don't know.
For those that basically entertainment prefect is like a leader. I actually have to organize entertainment shows, music, dance, and all that stuff, cultural stuff in high school.
Yep.
So I would set up the speakers and everything, and use Mixcraft to, you know, DJ during those times.
A lot of coordination, a lot of management, project management.
Yes. That was just in the beginning stages.
Yeah.
So that actually gravitated to.
Yeah, son's doing some work, man.
I love the son. Yeah. That's totally fine. So that's how I actually got into music, but not into production. I was just mixing, cutting music out, in and out, and literally that's how everything gravitated. Okay. I actually started music when I moved out here, you know.
Okay.
Actually moved out here.
So it was always in you, but the actual process of starting to make things happen when you made the transition.
That is correct.
What was it like musically in Ghana growing up? You know, what were the sounds happening around you throughout your youth? What kind of sounds were kind of inspiring you?
So Ghana was actually, they had hip life during that time. They had high life. But I actually grew up in the hip life era. So basically, we had a lot of hip life artists, which now is more hip hop, more Afro pop also. Okay. And then from the hip life, it actually went to Afro beat. So I grew up in that era, from the high life, hip life, and then Afro beat era.
What would you compare that sound to? Here in Western, what would you compare?
Well, now I think Afrobeat is doing amazing right now. It actually I've been able to penetrate it. When I was in Ghana, it was just basically in the west of Africa that was actually listening to Afrobeat. Yeah. It's penetrated now. A lot of people are getting used to it. And also I'm a piano, which is also doing an amazing job right now, so penetrating. So it's becoming a global, global international music for all, for the most part.
And that's a beautiful thing, and I want to touch on that more too, just kind of that global connectivity. And speaking of which, what and when and why did you decide to make the transition to the U.S.? Well, and specifically California.
Okay.
What brought you?
So here? Basically, it's always been a dream. Growing up in Africa, it's not as seen on TV, but it's always been a dream to leave Ghana and travel. I actually didn't know I was going to end up in it. I actually loved Europe more, but God's grace, I had the opportunity to come this way.
What part of Europe were you in?
Was London actually. London, United Kingdom. Because like growing up is the United States and London. They're like United Kingdom. That was the most. Everybody, most of.
You're either going there or you're going there.
Either you go in there or come in here. So that was pretty much it. When I moved here, everything actually changed. The diversity, the people, and I tapped into the sound more. What was most of Afrobeat when I first started meeting people, connecting. I do understand the house scene was there, but I was not that deep into it.
Sure.
So props to the people that actually started it. But I was into that, and then slowly, I got familiarized with the house and all the stuff.
Nice. Where were the the inspirations out here?
The inspiration. So basically, I was working with a friend. I was working with a friend who was so deep into the music, and we had a couple of parties that we had something called more of house. So that's when actually I got introduced to the sound. But apart from that, again, as I said earlier, it was most of the piano, and was slowly gravitating. So I caught up to that very early, and then finally I just fell in love with house, and
Well, I think you found your home, because when I listen to your sound, it sounds like you've been doing it for 40 years. Seriously, like your sound is very refined, very progressive, and extremely rooted as well. You can hear, you could hear your roots of origin, and you also hear that progressive mind that's looking to reach to the future. And that beautiful combination is something that, I myself gravitate towards. That sound, is something that I always gravitated towards. When I first started DJing, I started as a techno DJ.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was playing techno back in like maybe 93. Yeah, I'm old, man. But yeah, those were my roots. But I was inspired by disco and all the funk and everything that I grew up with and stuff that was in the household. But as the music started to evolve, and as me being someone that always likes to reach for the future as well, as I really started listening to techno and then progressive house and then tribal progressive house, stuff coming out of Africa, the stuff coming out of Spain, very percussion heavy, and I was like, this is where I live. This is home right here. And the reason why I say I feel like you found home immediately, because I think it's reflected very well. So if you were to explain and kind of describe your sound, how would you?
My sound, Afro house, which mostly originated in South Africa. And just to mention a few names, Black Coffee, the head of it. So if anybody's trying to figure out the sound word, is the papa of it. And then we can mention the Shimzes, we can mention the Capo, El Musician, Zakes, Batwini, we can mention Kai and the Soul. And once we come there, we can mention DJ Jeff, Lou Vega, who's more also, from New York. So that is the kind of sound I'm actually into. So that's the kind of sound that I make, just as a reference. But more progressive, I just like the repetition, percussions, and piano. The sound of piano, the chorus, the build up. just the groove, the good feeling.
Yeah.
The good feeling. Yeah.
Well, to me, it's almost the perfect music because it's got the great combination of those organic, natural elements that are very rooted in earth, you know, and also, like I said, just that progressive futurism attached to it. And I love the evolution of that sound, and I love, you know, I remember observing just that transition that was coming out of South Africa.
Yes.
I want to say maybe around 2009, 2008 or so, the sound really started to become a little more progressive.
Yeah.
You know, and I loved it because for me out here, I was playing a lot of progressive house.
Progressive house?
Yeah, you know, a lot of like progressive tribal, and having that combination was just
massive.
Oh my God, man! I was like, yes, this is what I was waiting for. This is what I was born for.
Massive, yeah.
Man, and just to see how
now,
my God, man, it's a beautiful sound, and you do it very well, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I mean, honestly, like I said, I love talking to people that I admire, you know, and I appreciate your talent, and I really appreciate, you know, your approach, and your music is really well thought out. It's developed. I feel like you have a perspective, and it's a refined perspective. As you're producing, like you said, you want to create that feeling. You like to really just, and I think I know what you mean by that, you know, because it's warmth, but it's also energy. You know, and you know, you bring that energy very well.
Thank you.
Do you have any interest in producing other styles?
As of right now, I might try melodic house.
You don't need to. You're doing well where you are, man.
I'm not gonna shift. I'm not gonna totally shift.
Yep.
But even like my set when I'm DJing, I like to infuse a couple of melodic tune into it, especially like trying to read the crowd and everything.
Yeah.
But that would be something I would like to, you know, try.
Yeah.
But I just really want to stick to Afro house since I love it. I love producing Afro, and I love playing it.
Yeah.
It's just the beauty of it, the beauty of it, and the sound, and they just
perfect music as far as I'm concerned.
So yeah.
And I love the fact that, you know, it really has become more established. You know, there was a time here in the club scene around Los Angeles where there were definitely DJs playing a lot of Afro
fusion, tribal.
Yeah, but Afro house really didn't have a name yet.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
I agree
you go to a club and it was basically you're just hearing deep house.
Yes.
And the DJs were mixing in all these elements, you know, like these roots elements. And when you started to see, like I said, that growth of Afro house becoming kind of its own genre, it took a minute, but it really then saturated the city. And, you know, your opinion of the scene here in LA, the club scene, what do you think?
Again, as you just mentioned, the sound is penetrating, is doing its thing. As you know, compared to earlier, nobody knew what a piano was.
Right.
And out of the blue, all of a sudden, like everybody was like jamming to it, which I strongly believe house itself and Afro house has been there for a long time.
Yeah.
And the scene here is slowly gravitating. A lot of people are loving it. With the club scene, parties, even electronic parties, still book DJs that's the Afro house to just infuse it, to blend because of the diversity of the sound. So I said right now it's doing amazing, it's doing great. But slowly we want to try as much as possible to push it to the world, to the people who are out there who have not heard it before. We want to try and push it there, but it's doing amazing right now. It's doing amazing. It's doing amazing.
It's almost like it almost makes the scene new again.
Yes.
It reinvigorates the scene. You know, it brings a lot of new energy.
Yes.
What's next for you? You just released something recently. Tell us about it. You're getting recognized by Beatport, Traxsource. Everybody around the world they're just all on you, man.
Yeah. I'm just grateful, especially for my management, my Lima Music Group. Shout out to them. We dropped Hands of Kubi. So Hands of Kubi is actually my name.
There's
a little background. So in Africa, like Ghana, if you're called Yaw Appiah, The kubi is just like the baby one.
Okay.
So Yaw Appiah or Yaw Kubi, hands of Kubi. Kubi is Yaw Kubi.
Okay.
Kubi is like the little one, because I have older brothers. So Yaw Kubi, Yaw's hands. So we did that.
Sounds like something maybe your aunts and uncles probably used to call you. Or something,
one of my aunts does call me that.
I can just tell, man.
It was so even the name Yaw Appiah, because most of people call me Daniel, like school, high school, way back in high school.
From the scriptures.
From the scriptures, Daniel.
Yep.
That's like my birth name, yeah. So my auntie will always call me Yaw Appiah, Yaw Appiah, Yaw Appiah, Yaw Appiah, Yaw Appiah, Appiah Kubi, especially when we have gatherings. So that's where it actually originated from. So we did a 2-track EP, Hands of Kubi, 3 Army, and we did Sinotech, which is more tech to the tech vibes.
Yep.
So again, shout out to Beatport, Traxsource, Apple Music, Spotify, everybody.
Yeah, man.
And then they received it well. But we're looking forward and dropping more music, and yeah.
Well, I'll say it's well deserved.
Thank you.
I listened to all of it, and I'm blown
Well,
away.
what's your favorite? Which one is it? Sinotech? Because I think you used
Which
Sinotech.
one? I just put a comment on.
You did Sinotech. You
Yeah.
just used Sinotech for the flower.
Oh
the
my
flyer.
God, man!
Hands of Kubi is massive too.
That track is just it's dark.
Yeah,
And
it
it hits really hard, man, and it just.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. Like
Yeah, Hands of Kubi.
I might even play it later. Who knows, man? Who knows? But man, I'm telling you, that track is just. It hits. I mean, all your stuff hits, but that one really struck me, man. Like it really because I don't comment. I'm kidding, man. But I'm just saying, if I do comment, nah, man. I mean, like seriously, I look at the consistency in your work, and it's just like every track, man, every track. Like so. If anyone isn't familiar, my goodness, like they should be. When you're making music and just living your life every day, you mentioned you grew up in kind of a Christian household.
Yes.
How relevant is spirituality in your life today and through your music and just the way you walk?
Very, very spiritual person. Very spiritual. Again, you can specifically Christianity. Yeah.
Yep.
You can't take that away from me. So, and I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful. I came out from that side of religion. It grounds me. It makes me stay humble at all time.
Yep.
And for the most part. But my music, translating into if you actually listen to my music, more spiritual. I normally go with the dark chorus sometimes, the sad chorus and all that, but it just not super sad, but it just translates to
Guilty. I get it. I get it.
To where I am. But religiously, still Christianity, and it grounds me for the most part.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, and it to me, it can be a difficult thing to kind of navigate within, the scene that we're in, the club scene, the house scene. But being grounded, it'll keep us away from the things that we don't need to be a part of, and we'll make sure that we walk the way we're supposed to walk. Being grounded within our Christian roots really help us make very informed decisions. And it keeps us from moving in certain places, but it also that you can hear it through your music, and knowing that, for me, it makes me listen to your music with a slightly different lens. Because now I'm hearing not just somebody producing house music just for the sake of creating some loops, but it's like, okay, there's more of a depth to it. There's more of a reason for it. Would you say?
Again, my production, even just to roll back, part of me also, most of my music is related to me. What I'm going through at a specific time. If I'm joyful stuff come out.
Yep.
If we get in that shady, moody, all that, we make something, and then I'm human. Everybody's human. You get feelings sometimes, and I try to execute it, but it's more enlightening. Yeah. So with the spiritual aspect and being a Christian, and connecting it to my music, I just want to bring out the best out of me for the most part. Yeah, it's really connected, and I'm just grateful. I was grounded. I was brought up in that kind of way. I cannot complain at all.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And again, like I said, there's a kindred connectivity, you know, without even knowing that first from you. But as we've talked and gotten to know each other, you know, and finding that, I'm like, oh, well, that's why.
Yeah.
You know, that's why that kind of connection is there, and it's beautiful, man. Really quick, what's next? What's coming up?
We have Alema Music Group. We have a collaboration with Larian Music with a new upcoming rising artist. Her name is Zizo. We have a couple of remixes on that record from Straight SA in South Africa. Vasilis, great and upcoming producer also, is in Greece.
Yep.
And then Roxanne, also a great and amazing producer also who is in SA.
Yep.
So those are the remix packages, but yeah, that's what I have coming up pretty soon.
When can we expect that?
It's coming in very soon. Promo is going to be out by next week, so all the DJs and all the people should expect it. But yeah, that's what I have coming up. Yeah, and I'm really, really excited for that project.
Where can we find everything that you're doing?
Find me everywhere, social media _ Yaw Appiah. I'm there, the same on Facebook, Yaw Appiah. Beatport, the same. Tracksource is the same name, Yaw
Make sure you
Appiah.
put all your links on the
My
screen
links in the
here,
video, so YAWAPPIAH.
Yep.
The management, Alema Music Group, you can find them on Instagram for the most part. Email is in my bio. So yeah, that's where you can find me. Yeah, I'll be right there waiting.
Any other things closing that you'd like to tell the people?
Again, I just want to appreciate this opportunity. Thank you to you, thank you to Vertical, the entire team, the cameras and everything. We're looking forward to the greatness.
I'm looking forward to playing some music with you, man.
Oh yeah, I'm ready to hop on the deck. Let's see if we can put 2 or 3 together.
Yeah, man.
Really excited.
Great stuff, man. Appreciate you, man. Let's have some fun.
Thank you for
All right.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That's a wrap.